And good morning, everybody. Good Thursday morning. Thank you for tuning in to Mornings in Meridian on this July 27th. Almost the end of the month here, folks. Coming fast. And thank you for listening to the two best hours of local, live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Roger B. here, and along with, say hi to, here he is, sportscaster extraordinaire and a good political pundit as well. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
And I'm not running for coroner, so we got that out of the way early.
I'm not running for coroner. I'm telling you, I've told every one of them I do not want them signing my death certificate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Whoever wins, I don't want them signing my death certificate.
Well, how are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. Had a surprise out-of-town trip yesterday. Went to Kentucky and found out while I was in Kentucky that the senator there had a little, what did you say? Stroked out on us.
Well, it was really, last night I was up at the fair most of the day yesterday, which we'll get into more of that later on in the show, especially the heated moments.
Oh, I do want to hear about those.
Yeah,
yes. Thank you.
Saw some of that first-hand account. But the Mitch McConnell thing was very, very strange yesterday. Roger, he froze. I mean, I felt really, really bad for him. And if you remember, what was it? Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he had to go in the hospital, had a concussion, and then what did Gordon Deal say earlier this morning here on WALT that when he's in like a crowded airport, he's having to be pushed around in a wheelchair. So, health problems are catching up to Mitch McConnell.
Well, you're doing that impersonation. Here's my impersonation of him now.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
How was that?
That was good.
No, I'm just...
No.
I
mean, it was... stroke. What can you say? Just spell. I don't know what you want to call it, but his lips are really, really blue. I don't know if you noticed that or not. He just kind of stared off into space, and someone I
think he just checked out. Had one
he
of
just
those
had
little,
a moment.
Was that a TR? What's the?
He had a Biden.
And so naturally, your guest co-host the other day texted me and sent me that video.
Yeah.
And, of course, I said, now, suppose there was a Biden-McConnell debate. What would that look like?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So, anyway.
Combined age, 160-something?
Well, and we in Mississippi, we can't talk because my first impression was, okay, he is our Thad Cochran. Because, Mr. Thad, he had his issues there later in his office. And so... now, McConnell obviously is not, his midterm or his term is up in 26. So, he's got a little row to hoe if he's going to stay in there. Or could it be like, would he resign and then somebody, the governor there, appoint somebody as we did in Mississippi?
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to watch. So, but like I said, he had a concussion several weeks ago and don't know if that was something to do with that because they said he had a fall is the reasoning for the concussion, obviously. And but yeah, it's just one of those moments. Can you imagine you're around that podium and that moment is happening? Everyone's just kind of stopped and they're like, "What do we do? Do we intervene?" And someone finally did.
And where we were yesterday, the airport staff said, he had flown in there a few times recently, and they had really struggling to. Have to have a lot of people help him get off of the airplane.
Well,
and things like that.
In his 80s, I think. He's 80, 81, I believe. So, he's same age as the president. So
what's he going to do with all that money?
He ain't going to put it in Fort Knox, that's for sure.
Who gets all that money?
Exactly.
Maybe that's what he was thinking. People say he stroked out. I think it's clearly what he was doing. He was just picturing Margot Robbie with the... in the movie Barbie. I think he was just kind of picturing that. His mind just kind of went there for a little while. I do that sometimes. I start picturing Margot Robbie a little bit. And
Margot Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah. Just saying.
You just sit there and think of it. Oh yeah, okay.
That's what.
Yeah.
Well, we hope he's going to be. We hope he's going to be okay, though.
You see my point, right?
Oh, exactly. It's You know, I mean, you kind of have to have a sense of humor about it. I mean, we all got some, dark humor behind this.
Oh,
but,
I'm big on dark humor.
But the thing about it is,
I put the big D in dark humor. Let me tell you.
we saw it for the first time last night because we are so happy Gutfeld is on an hour earlier now that we can actually stay up and kind of watch a little bit of that. But he had the video on last night. I looked at my wife and I was like, that's very concerning there. So it's one thing Biden is falling up and down steps all over the place, and Mitch just had a moment. So, but
now the of course, that was the thing yesterday. Of course, maybe he was thinking about Hunter Biden and his plea deal falling apart.
What do you mean? I don't know. They say he threw his hands up. What? What? I didn't get away with it. What?
Some great acting in Delaware. Hunter Biden, of course, the judge, not offering that plea deal. A few unconnected dots, I think.
Did you see that coming though? I mean, did you really expect a judge?
I did not realize that.
Well, wait for the View later on. It only happened because there's a Trump-appointed judge.
That's exactly right.
That's going to be the crutch.
Judge Mary Ellen, is it Norton? Now you help me with names because I didn't get Roby right. I got Robbie. Now I know why you know her name is Robbie, because your name is Robbie. I get it.
Yeah.
No.
Makes sense.
That makes sense. Is it Norika? Norika? What's that? How do you say that last name?
I believe it's Norika, but
Norika. I'm going with Norika.
Someone will correct us. So.
I mean, it's got the E before the I, like Seiko, so Noriko. Yeah, okay. Anyway, she is President Donald Trump appointed judge, but it's kind of like we can't always say that, because I believe you probably have Democrats that would love to see, quietly, they would love to see the Biden dynasty tumble.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of folks. I mean, let's be real here. Folks on the Democratic side of things know that this family has done a lot of wrong, but they're not going to come out and say it right now. I mean,
we're not going to go against the family.
But a lot of them, when they talked to him in the halls yesterday, there's nothing there. Show me the evidence. I mean, but they know. Give me a break. They know. So, but yeah, the judge yesterday, the plea deal. What's the word that Newsmax used? I think Fox did the same. Torpedoed the plea deal.
Well, the judge's concerns, Norika, was included an agreement on gun charge that was separate from two misdemeanor charges, or failure to pay his taxes, saying that the deal required her to determine if Hunter violated the terms of the agreement, a role she said doesn't exist for judges. So, okay.
Well, the one thing that concerns me, I know we got a phone call.
She basically told the counsel to go get their stuff together and come back.
Well, did you see the part of this going into yesterday at the hearing? The attorneys for Biden, Hunter Biden that is, tried to make a phone call to the courthouse disguising themselves as GOP attorneys to try to get more information. I mean, it's a lot of strangeness behind that. As far as what his attorneys were trying to do going into that hearing yesterday, the night before. So, but I mean, come on. I mean, layer upon layer of money, conspiracy. I mean, drugs, sex. This guy.
No one in our family got money from China. No one in our family's gotten money from China. Now dog-faced pony soldier.
Burisma.
Let's take a phone call here. 601-485-9191 is our talk line. By the way, we have a political guest coming in. He's running for Justice Court Judge District 1.
Yeah, Mr. Charles Graham will be in a little after 8 o'clock this morning.
Okay, so that's coming up on the show. In the meantime, we want to take your calls. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
How's it going on there front porch this morning? A little bit cooler than it has been?
It is, and the hummingbirds are flying.
Oh, I tell you what, ain't they something?
I got a good batch out at my house, too. They're awesome.
Excuse me, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we got a big batch out at our house, too. So
big batch. We got a batch of birds.
We got a batch of birds.
It takes about 2 dozen to make a mess.
Now you're talking about Washington now.
Hard to deep fry them little suckers, isn't it?
Got to catch them.
That's right.
So what's on your mind today?
I just ate the legs.
The legs. Okay.
I got to watch the Hunter hearing, and mostly the camera was on the front of the facility, the I guess, federal building or whatever. And what I spotted it was most interesting, in my opinion, about the whole procedure that went down was the immediate fallout where Corinne Jean Pierre tried to create a degree of distance between Hunter and his daddy, referring to Hunter as a private citizen.
Yeah.
I thought about it just 1 minute, and I said, well, let's see what Google has to say about that. And it referred to the first family as the president, the first lady, and all of their children.
Yeah, that'd be like saying when Bill Clinton was president, then Hillary was a private citizen.
Yeah.
No.
What difference does it make now?
Yeah, that's true.
What difference does it make?
That's right.
Yeah, I got that. So you were watching the trial, and you had fun watching the press secretary do the press secretary dance.
Oh, yeah, she's a trip.
Yeah, she's a trip.
Corinne Jean-Pierre.
That's right.
So
that they did establish that he is a private citizen in light of them showing the caravan of SUVs leading with the Secret Service and other protection.
there you go. Yeah.
We all of us private citizens are rewarded with such.
I'm sure he's paying. He's paying for that security, isn't he?
Oh, I'm sure.
Tongue and cheek. Okay, gotcha.
I'm trying to be respectful of your clock in light of all the political stuff, so I will be on my way.
No, but hey, the good news is we have time for you today. We're a little light on our guests list, so I'm glad you rang in here. And while you're talking about the national politics, is there anything on the local level that has gotten your attention?
Oh, yeah, it helped me seal the deal on my vote for coroner. I enjoyed Mr. Graham talking about all of his experience, 10 years law enforcement and certifications, national certifications, and all the guard load master, and then he's loaded down with qualifications.
Well, there you go. Well, I appreciate you listening yesterday. That's good. You were, we always like to know when the students are paying attention.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. All right, you can come out of the corner. You can sit on the front porch, enjoy another cup of coffee, and just keep listening to Mornings in Meridian.
Will do, good buddy.
All right, 10-4, out and over. All right. I hate when I got 10 Ford in front of an idea. Remember that Andy Griffith show?
Yeah.
Can you bet? Barney, I just hate it when I get 10 Ford right in the middle of idea.
I love it.
All right. Mornings in Meridian, I think I may have discovered.
Okay.
And maybe I'll tell you that after we talk about our sponsors, because we need to make sure people know that we have fine, credible sponsors that help this show come on the air here, and we will invite you to go take advantage of their quality services, like the folks at Martin Roofing topping the list this morning?
Absolutely, man.
Yes.
We're going to lead it off with Martin Roofing this morning.
And leading off this morning, it's Doug Martin Sr. and Doug Martin Jr.
That's a good lineup right there for sure. But Martin Roofing, of course, been doing roofing right for over 30-plus years. They're locally owned and operated, licensed here in the state. And, folks, they stand behind their work from start, clean up. You know, a lot of folks get worried, too. Oh, well, they're going to come out and replace my roof. They're going to leave all that material all over the lawn. It's just going to be nasty. I'm going to have to get out here in this Mississippi heat and clean up all of that just out there on my lawn. But you know what? Martin Roofing cleans everything up when they get finished with the project, and it's amazing. It's like they were never there. It's just like, phew, it's gone. So it's amazing. But Martin Roofing has all the roofing applications, shingles, metal, rubber, commercial roofing, and just takes a few minutes. Doug will jump up there on the roof. Well, he'll climb up on the roof and take an inspection there and give you a good estimate. And, the crew will come out there, and they do a fantastic job. 601-485-5920. Members of the Better Business Bureau, that's 485-5920. That is Doug Martin Sr., Doug Martin Jr., Martin Roofing.
All right. It's, you think you get that cheaper roofer there out there. Oh, this price is a lot lower. Well, just think of the hundreds of dollars you spend fixing flats on your lawnmower tires when they don't get all the nails out of the yard. Anyway, so you want somebody that's going to clean up and do professional like Martin Roofing.
There you go.
I think I found out why I'm overweight.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm not the most overweight American, but because
You see them.
I was watching a few of them at at the Olive Garden the other day. No, let me just say, there's. I think I found the secret now. Because this morning, let's just say, for example, can I take this? And this is kind of a free advertisement, but you can see I have here a wrapper.
Moon pie.
Yeah, because guess what my rationale was? Well, I left the house in a hurry that I did not eat a breakfast.
So you did a vending machine breakfast this morning.
Not something you really want to do on a regular basis.
You got to do what you got to do.
But every once in a while, okay, I'm going to get a vending machine breakfast. And it's been so long since I had, yes, a moon pie.
What flavor?
It's a Neller.
Okay.
It's vanilla.
Okay.
That's what's in the machine. I like those, too.
How much sugar?
Well, here's what got me. This is funny because when you get a single moon pie
Yes, sir.
from the vending machine,
Okay.
you're going to open it up and you're going to eat what?
You're going to eat the whole thing?
You're going to eat the moon pie.
Yeah, the whole thing. You better not leave nothing in there.
Nutrition facts, sir.
Oh, boy.
100 calories per serving.
How many servings?
Well,
It's just the one serving?
You just said, Your Honor, I believe Mr. Atkinson just said that if you open up the wrapper, you're going to eat the whole
Thing.
pie.
So that's the serving.
300 calories in the package, which means in this moon pie, they're saying cut it up into 3 pieces. You eat your piece and give one to your wife and then maybe one to your child, and that's your moon pie. But 100 calories per serving, 300 calories for the package.
Man.
So I want to know, who out there will take a single wrapped moon pie
Cut it up into pieces.
and eat a third of it,
Heck no.
stash the rest of it away, or cut it up and give it away, and then come back for the next day? Well, I'm going to eat my other serving of the.
That's not American. You're supposed to eat that.
And of course, this is the moon pie, and it is called the double-decker moon pie.
Well, there you go.
Which means they took another layer of marshmallow and another cookie in there and more.
Means it's double good.
Yeah. So anyway, I think I understand what the problem is. We start out buying these single packages of things when we were younger.
Yeah.
They've become larger and more calories, and we still eat the single package. But now the manufacturer's saying, "Oh no, we didn't mean for you to do that. We meant for you to have 3 servings in this package.
We're just going to make it bigger."
Anyway, that, my friends, are why we're fat.
Sir, it's only 59 something,
I rest my case.
60 cents to go bigger. That's all it costs. Get you that big fry.
You want to supersize that?
Then you look to the left and right, and you're like, yeah.
Go ahead, bump it up.
Go ahead and bump it up.
Bump it on up.
I'm feeling dangerous today.
So now it's that way with the potato chips. You used to buy a bag of potato chips. Boom, open them up, and what are you going to eat? You're going to eat the bag of potato chips. Well, they're of such large size, these what used to be considered single bags, they will have more than one serving on the bag. So
Sure.
It's like, okay, you're supposed to wrap up your, somewhere you're supposed to stop. You're in a bag of Lay's potato chips, right? And you're supposed to stop?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Not supposed to.
How do you possibly happen if you cracked open a moon pie or you open a bag of chips and you're supposed to stop at the end of your serving?
Nope.
And I'll tell you another bad one, Cheez-Its. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, they're good.
How do you stop eating Cheez-Its until the bag is empty?
Question on Facebook. Zane wants to know, why doesn't Roger have a WALT coffee mug?
Well, because the company's trying to save money. This was donated.
I love how you say that.
Let me just share this with Zane if he's watching. Look, this was donated. So if you would like to have me to have
There we go.
a WALT coffee mug, you're welcome to donate that to me as well. So there you go.
There you go.
But I want to say a big thank you to Patrick Williams from Asheville, North Carolina, for remembering the news radio show that was on the airs back in the 90s, and Phil Hartman.
Phil
And,
Hartman, yep.
Of course, he had one of those mugs sent to me that they designated from the show there.
Answering the pertinent questions of the people out there.
And in the words of Mitch McConnell, we can say,
We're on a path to finishing the NDA
Yep.
this week. It's been good bipartisan cooperation
Very good bipartisan cooperation.
and a string of
Oh man.
Have you seen that Barbie movie, Margot Robbie? Yeah, that's pretty good. Mornings.
Oh boy.
Anyway, hey, we hope you're having a good night. You know, we're making fun. I understand that, but you know that's what you get to do if you're in public. Guess
Yeah.
what? People get to make fun of you in public or about your public appearance.
It's
and,
the slings and arrows that come with being in office
You think
or
that's
being in the
something?
public eye.
You think that's something? Just wait for Robbie's report from the Neshoba County Fair.
Oh yeah. Wow.
You got a few things to share up
few
there?
Few things.
All right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take this break for Fox News, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about Robbie's report from the Neshoba County Fair on Meridian Day.
It got nasty.
I tell you, my opponent has made these accusations, and if he were to check the family tree, he will find out that his parents were never really married. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Yeah. Goodness.
Good one.
So glad that before there was The Voice, before there was American Idol, there was Star Search.
There you go.
Does that take you back, Rob?
Oh, I love that. That's a good one.
You remember Star Search?
Yeah.
Sawyer Brown coming to the national forefront on Star Search.
Wow.
And, of course, Sawyer Brown's Duncan Cameron is 67 years old today. Happy birthday if today is your birthday. And he's singing my song. I ain't first class, but I ain't white trash. I'm wild and a little crazy, too. He's describing me. All right, but a good song there, good group there. Happy birthday. Other birthdays include, let's see here, goodness me, Maya Rudolph. She's a comedian, actress. She was in Bridesmaids. Let's see, the late Jerry Van Dyke, Dick Van Dyke's brother, passed away in 2018. He's born on this day in 1931.
All right.
And Bobby Gentry, it was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. She's 81 years old, according to Wiki. Now, we may not ever know how old she is, but
Yeah.
we're calling her 81 years old.
Yeah, of course, we lost Sinead O'Connor yesterday, too, so I'm pretty
At
sure you saw
56.
I know.
56, so I don't know. No cause of death released there.
Not yet.
Anyway, Mornings in Meridian, we have a phone caller. We're going to get there in just a moment. But first, folks, I'm going to tell you, I had to go to Premier Paint and Body Shop yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I did. I went there because, not just because I like Danny and not just because I like all the good folks there, Patricia there in the office and Caleb and Joy and don't forget Ty and all those good folks. But I went there because I damaged my own vehicle.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I was driving a truck Monday, and one of my employees was following in my vehicle,
Oh.
and I ran over one of them road alligators.
Oh, yeah.
Those little retreads that come off.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was in the truck. I ran over it. It flew up and hit my car that my employee was driving, my SUV, and hit the mirror and knocked the glass out of the mirror.
Oh, man.
Yes, and then it left a little scratch on the side of the car as it went by.
So once everything settled down, I knew where you went. Premier.
So I went to Premier, and the part is ordered. It's coming in today. I'll take them the vehicle, and they're going to get that thing fixed for me.
Isn't that great?
I know it. It's just like boom, boom. So all I'm suggesting to you, folks, is I practice what I preach. We tell you to keep this number in your phone, 601-482-PAINT. And
482-7246.
and make sure that you go to Premier Paint and Body Shop, conveniently located right next to Johnson Dodge on Highway 39. Go and see Danny and the staff today, and just have a good visit and tell them, hey, I heard that you can fix vehicles like new pretty quickly. And I did tell them while they had my old 2003, if they would just kind of buff some of the haze off those headlights.
There you go. While you're there.
Yeah, you kind of do that, And they said, we can take care of it. It's Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call, shall we?
Let's do it.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Mega morning, true American patriots.
Hi.
He ain't first class, but he ain't white trash. Here he is.
That's my theme song. I like it.
Has this been a while? We've been politicking here on the air lately.
Hey, well, it's good. The voters need to be educated and informed, and I hope everybody gets out on Election Day and expresses their opinion on the best candidate.
Sure.
And voting is a constitutional right and privilege, but it's also a civic duty and responsibility. Yeah. But I could not be happier about the Hunter Biden fiasco. Finally, it looks like maybe some of the lies and deceit, the veil of darkness is going to get pulled back from D.C. and Biden Inc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
it's the onion is slowly being peeled.
That's it, layer by layer. And as far as hazmat's concerned, God turned the light on the lie. Let's see it all. And there needs to be an article of impeachments drawn up. If for nothing else, violation of the oath of office, dereliction of duty on the southern border.
Man.
And investigations to have investigations. Them Republicans, now's your time to play pile on.
Yes.
Let's get it done. And take them all down.
Well, it's like I think Greg Gutfeld said this on Fox last night. He said, "You know what? The Democrats wasted our time with these impeachments of President Trump. Let's waste their time with putting Biden in the same situation."
Absolutely. They had the illusion of Russian collusion and all that for years and years. Went after Trump and his family and Melania and all. But every day was a new day for that. Oh, we're going to get them. We got them now. Well, they can't convict Biden in the Senate. Let's convict him in the court of public opinion. Let's tell the truth. Let the people see what the demon cats are made of.
You can't get public opinion though, if you don't have the press to put the word out there.
Yeah, that too.
Well, it'll get out.
Yeah.
I got confidence that it'll get out. But, now this turns a new page on Biden. He's usually real mouthy about his agenda, and the people pulling the strings have got him all, fired up. What's the matter, Joe? Cat got your tongue? A demon cat?
What?
Yeah, that whole bunch sucks. It's amazing that America would even have people like that in America, much less in positions of power and leadership.
Well,
I do think it's comical, though, on a local note, that the police car got stolen out of the police car parking lot.
I was wondering if you were going to go there or not.
Oh, my. And this gives you just total confidence in MPD.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It's like the Keystone Cops on an LSD trip or something.
have mercy. Whoa.
And it's pretty pitiful. But I think that's comical. But on another note, I went to the Vietnam Wall ceremony Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And very nice, very honorable, respectful. We look at these memorials and we learn the price of freedom and service. But this country is more concerned with some illegal alien that has no right to be here, or some project parasite or criminal or predator and their rights and they have everything, rather than American veterans. And, sadly, we lose 20, 22 a day, somewhere in that area, to suicide. Why are American veterans not given the proper physical and mental health care they deserve and have earned?
Mm-hmm.
The nation doesn't care. They're expendable. They're more concerned with this illegal alien deal. And I see Greg Abbott with a floating concertina wire out there. Let's go to court. Don't let the federal government buffalo you down. Take them to court. And then countersue Biden and the whole U.S. government for failure to uphold constitutional law. Bring your lawyers and
Get
we'll
'em.
bring ours.
Go get them.
Let's go to battle.
Go get them.
And I despise the Democrats. They're the enemy of freedom, enemy of this country. God needs to have him a purge. Let's see what you got, big boy. Pony up and cowboy. Roger that.
All right, roger that. 601-485-9191 is our talk line. We want to hear from you. What's on your mind out there? Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Hey, Zane.
We just finished. God has to have a purge, and we got. Hello, gentlemen.
Did Roger get in touch with you yesterday?
Yeah, he finally did call me.
Okay, good.
Finally.
Thank him for calling me.
Okay. Hey, he said thank you.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Roger,
tell him I was glad to do it.
Are
Whoa.
you turning Democrat on us?
Whoa.
Do what now?
Are you turning Democrat on us with this double standard you got?
I have a double standard.
I call up and mention another radio station and get put in timeout, and then you take me out of timeout and talk to me again, and then I say something, and you end up hanging up on me because I'm talking about another radio station. You're sitting there with a mug for another radio station, flashing it in front of the World Wide Web.
You're looking at
that
this, right?
everybody on the planet can see.
All right, let me explain to those of you that just don't get it.
I'm just going to sit back.
For the class that arrived in the special van that picked you up in front of the house this morning.
Oh, no.
Excuse me. This
I ride
a
a short bus, and I'm proud of it.
This is a fictitious radio station. It's a call letter from a TV show called News Radio from the mid-'90s. And so just know that this is not a mug from another real station. It's a mug from a fictitious station from a television show back in the 90s. So
Okay.
WNYX.
In that case, I'm not going to campaign for another button monkey, but I guess that's okay.
I think if we had been listening more closely over the last few days, Rob, would you say that he would have known this? Would you agree? Have we not gone over this before?
Several times, I believe, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Well, you know what? I was probably out front inspecting a truck the day that was talked about.
All right, let's move on. Anything else you want to talk about?
I guess that's about it. Kind of worries me about McConnell there.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Well, here's what you do. It's the double-edged sword. You like your seniority in Congress. Each state does. We had our Thad Cochran, and in years gone by, we had certain seniors in position. Of course, Trent Lott was not elderly by any means, but he was certainly a senior lawmaker. He was a senator out there, a majority leader. And, of course, we had our Eastlands and our Stennises. So, we enjoy that seniority, but sometimes we might just carry that desire to have seniority a little bit too far.
Yeah.
So you had
Kentucky's where he's from?
Yes. Yeah, Kentucky.
Yeah, and the only thing, you don't want to kind of wish him out because you never know what's going to come in behind him. So, and I think that's a lot of the problem of the constituency, that they're like, oh, we need to keep him.
So you prop him up and keep him up there. That's and that's the double-edged sword I talk about. So you have a senator with the money and the power, and then of course, I lost a little luster for McConnell. When he, just didn't take a strong stand for the President Trump when he was in office. Who had been nominated by the Republican Party, elected by the people back in 2016. And then you had Republicans going to kind of ducking for cover and didn't want to be associated too closely to President Trump.
Yeah, and but with this case, I'm wondering what the Democrats, if they're really going to come out and say, oh, he needs to go. He's old and decrepit, and he can't walk up the steps of Air Force One.
We dare them to come out and talk about McConnell being too old.
Yeah,
bring it on, Democrats.
I was like, we can play that game all day long.
Exactly.
That's it.
Hey, good stuff there. Good stuff.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day and take care.
All right, Zane. Good to hear from you, sir. Thank you. Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there. You can be part of our show, 601-485-9191. 601-485-9191. Put you right here with us. In the meantime, we got to remind you, no, you don't have to go online. You don't have to go to a big box store. You do not have to, wait days and days and days and days and days for something to come in. Mm-hmm. Go to Southern Business Supply right there on Dale Drive in Marion and see our good friend Billy Adam Calvert and the folks at Southern Business Supply to, supply your business.
That's right. They've been servicing all of the Meridian and surrounding areas. Friendly sales staff with over, 124 years combined experience there at Southern Business Supply, which is fantastic. They got a full line of office furniture, home office furniture, desk chairs, filing cabinets, etc. They've got it there, and they have an in-house designer on staff for all your decorating needs. Offer next-day delivery on most office and janitorial supplies, and furniture delivery and setup is available with Southern Business Supply. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, just up from us here at the station on Dale Drive, 601-485-2 601-485-2447. That's 601-485-2447. Buy local. Money stays right here. Say no to those big box stores and shop at Southern Business Supply.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian, and we're glad you're out there. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, man.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. This is Mississippi James.
Hey.
Mississippi James, who part-times in Ohio.
There you go.
But I'm glad you're here, James. What's on your mind today?
All right. Back on this Hunter Biden stuff.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
happy it's coming down like this. You know, I'm not looking at it from a Democratic Republican position. I'm looking at it from a right and wrong position, positive negative position. And it do need to be investigated a little more, because it did seem like a softball deal for him.
Of course.
And I guess the rest will come out. But I'm saying,
Wasn't part of this deal supposed to be some immunity from future prosecution?
yeah, that's what the judge acts. And then,
Yeah.
then when the prosecutor and defense start answering, they say, "Oh no, yes, no, no, hey, we pull this off the table." So yes, that part there, the immunity for the future. But all I'm saying is, let's continue to get both sides of corruption. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Both
You
sides.
Republican-
Let's spell it out. You would like to see corruption. You would like to see corruption eliminated on the Democrat and the Republican side.
Sure.
Okay.
I think that's
All
what
right.
we all want to do. But
Yeah.
we sort of get embraced one side to the other one like that pendulum swing.
Yeah.
Well, the truth is in the middle.
And you probably
But if you don't-
so you're probably happy that they're really finally getting Trump for all those dirty things he did that the other presidents have done with these storing these records.
If he did them, you know,
If he
and
did 'em-
withheld them after they asked for them back, all the stuff that's in the press. And that's all I can do.
I'm going to tell you, Trump has done absolutely nothing that any other president or former president hasn't done.
Well, except the part not giving them back and saying he didn't have them. So it's some more stuff out there. You know, I won't break all that down, but we know it's some more stuff out there that he could have, helped himself out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a batter going to the plate.
If
Hey,
you could
got
line
the
up,
picture.
if you could line up all the politicians, presidents, vice presidents, all the senators, and if corruption had a smell, I don't think you would even be. The dogs wouldn't even be near Donald Trump. They'd be down the line a few people.
That may be true. That's a
Yeah.
good metaphor. May be true.
Good? Was that good?
Yeah, I thought it was.
On the fly. I did it on the fly.
Yeah, that may be true. You know, and that's a good metaphor. But I'm saying now, if he step in that and is on his foot, and he's walking along with it, that smell is right with him. If he stepped into it,
But the metaphors continue.
hey, there we go.
I love it.
Everything is ambiguous.
There you go. All right.
I'll try to bounce in the middle and
There
say,
you go.
hey, let's drain the swamp and get the corruption. Whichever side, independent, charter right, libertarian, Republican, Democrat, I'm an equal opportunity. Let's clean it up.
Because you love everybody. You're not mad at anybody.
Oh, I forgot to start off with that.
I know it.
You remind me.
All right. Well, next time you call, you start out with that. All right.
And I come in peace.
There you
I'm
go.
leave in peace today.
Okay. Thank you. Good call. Thank you, sir. Mornings in Meridian. We'll take a quick break. Come back. I'm Roger. He's Rob.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I tell you what, long segment here. We've got Fox News coming up. When we come back at Mornings in Meridian, Roger and Rob here, we will have our guest, Mr. Charles Graham.
That's right, running for District 1 Justice Court Judge on the Republican ticket. We'll interview him coming up in just a few.
And we'll have, we'll talk where Rob and Roger are both going to run off to after the show. We'll talk about that a little bit as well.
I want to get into the Lieutenant Governor's speeches yesterday, too, at the fair.
And plus more of your calls. All that up ahead. Stay tuned for more of Mornings in Meridian after this. Mornings in Meridian, yes. It's, I guess with the political season, our breaks go a little bit long these days, but that's all right. Thanks for hanging in there with us. He's laughing over there. That's Rob Atkinson with us this morning.
August 8th, boys and girls.
It's coming.
We're on that locomotive going right for it. So.
And then we'll get to hear the runoff ads there. So.
Runoffs.
Runoffs. Anyway, we're glad you're out there. And, of course, coming up in just a moment, we're going to be visiting with a candidate for Justice Court Judge, District 1, another one. Yes, Mr. Charles Graham will be with us.
Yeah.
But and before we do that, let's make sure that, you know, that coming up, we're also going to be talking about Rob's visit to the Neshoba County Fair yesterday.
Tell you what, folks, you think the lieutenant governor's race is nasty, you should have been at the fair yesterday.
Can't wait to hear some of that good stuff. And much, much more. We're going to take a quick call before we get to our interview. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show. How you doing?
We're doing fine this morning. Enjoyed your show so far this morning.
Well, thank you for listening. We appreciate that.
I've got one question. You know the 3 Marines that had carbon monoxide vehicle and died?
Remind me of that one. I'm sorry.
They were parked somewhere close to a store. I think it might have been Camp Lejeune.
So that was just recently?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm out of that loop. Yeah, go ahead and fill me in there.
I'm just curious what kind of car they were driving.
Oh, yeah. You'd like to know what vehicle they were in. So, yeah, that doesn't happen to you or anybody else, yes.
I don't want to buy one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we know it wasn't an electric car.
Right.
So we can rule that out.
But I'll tell you, we'll have to dig down on that. There might be a real strong effort to make sure that doesn't get in the press for that very reason.
But I'd sure like to know what kind it was.
All right.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all what you're doing.
Well,
appreciate you.
Just keep listening for a little while longer until 9 o'clock, and you'll hear some more great mornings in Meridian.
Okay, I thank you.
Thank you. Good call. All right, I need to get up on that.
Educate yourself.
I got to educate. I've been spending so much time on Mitch McConnell stroking out. I didn't pay attention to that.
And eating moon pies.
And the 3 servings that come in a single wrapper of a moon pie.
On the 3 servings.
I'm just like, seriously?
Oh, man.
Just make me a smaller moon pie, just because I'm not going to open the wrapper and then save it. I'm going to eat it. Anyway, Mornings in Meridian, we're so happy to have in the studio, yes, another candidate, a person who has put their hat in the ring, someone who says, I want to serve the public of Lauderdale County. Here is Mr. Charles Graham. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to our studio.
Yeah, glad to be here.
You've a little bit redder, a little bit more tan since you were here last.
We've said that to everybody.
It's been a long journey.
Well, since you've been out there on the campaign trail, of course, let's announce to the people what you're running for specifically and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm running for Justice Court Judge District 1. My name is Charles Graham. You can read more about me at electcharlesgraham.com. I've got a bachelor's degree in business administration. I served as constable in District 1 from 1996 to 2000. I've handled cases out of that court for the last 23 years for my company, and it's a complicated court, and you need a.
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question, Mr. Graham. Mr. Graham.
Yes.
What does a constable do?
Well,
I've
always wondered that.
Do you know?
What does a constable do?
Do you know, Rob?
He's going to answer it.
Okay, yeah. What does a constable do?
I can tell you what I did.
Yes.
I was basically the fugitive recovery for Justice Court back then. I don't know if they still serve those warrants or if they pawn or push them off to the sheriff's office.
You go out and find them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I probably made 400 arrests.
Wow.
While I was in my 4-year term. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, they give me a stack of warrants, and I would go out and
just serve those and bring them back.
I don't know if they give them to the sheriff's office, but it's actually the constable's job to do that.
All right, so I'm a fugitive. You tell me how you're going to handle that.
Anything coming out of Justice Court.
Yeah, but what are you going to say to me? It's like you're going to
counted arrest.
No, and I'm saying what?
Yeah,
come with me. I need you to come with me.
Yeah,
is that how you do it?
Yeah,
and don't resist.
And they generally would just come with you, right?
Yeah,
they just
they would resist, and they'd still come with me.
They're coming. They're going to be there.
you're coming either way.
Either way.
So,
I'm gonna tell you, I ain't messing with Charles Graham. That's
No,
for sure.
no, sir.
Okay. Well, no, that's all right. So yeah, you're a constable, and I interrupted your resume, but it just struck me. I do not know what all the constables does.
and the prime and another aspect of their job is bailiff in the court, and then another aspect is serving the summons.
Okay.
For all the civil litigation cases that are coming in there.
Okay.
So,
Consider yourself served.
yeah,
You hand them a piece of paper.
and door service is a legal service. So if you get it on your, it's not so much for county circuit chancery, but door service and justice court is a legal service.
Okay.
Now, unless you're serving something like a judgment debtor examination to where you're serving the person to show back up to produce documents on a civil case that's already been tried, they need to be served personally, because if they're not served personally, they can't be held in contempt. And if they're held in contempt and they don't show up for court to produce the documents, then there'll be a bench warrant issued for them. Not because of the debt. You never get arrested in America for a debt, but you will for not doing that thing the court ordered you to do. So
there you go.
There you go.
Whew, no arresting for debt.
There you go.
Whew, I feel better already. But of course, then if you were to be elected then as a district court or justice court judge, District 1, then what would you be doing?
Well, you'd be hearing small claims cases, like my friend Judge Robinson opened with his court every single time for probably 20 years. It's the court that closely touches the lives of the general public, traffic and small claims. So it's traffic, small claims, litigation, and the judicial limit is $3,500 in justice court. So
this is kind of like the courts we see on TV.
No, and you know,
we see a lot of different,
like the People's Court,
or a bunch of People's Court, Judge
yeah.
Judy, Judge everybody. You know, there's a judge with every name and everything.
Well, Justice Court is not a People's Court. It's a small claims version of circuit. It's a court of record. A People's Court, and I think California is the only one that's got a People's Court where pro se litigation is the only thing that's allowed in there. And as far as the TV show, the popular one, it's basically binding arbitration. It's not even a court at all. So.
So this is not like what you see on TV. It's just good old downright small claims. You go and plead your case, and the judge decides.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the judge decides and makes a ruling based on. Now, if I was elected and I had something complicated in a civil litigation case or a criminal case, and I'd take it under advisement and go in and research the case law on my own to see if there was some binding case law that had to deal with that particular issue. And then make a decision and draw up an order and send the order out to both parties, and explain why and cite the case law that the order that in my order to tell them why, I ruled the way I did. So, and that's the way you should do it, because if you're not sure, just take it under advisement. I told my wife this morning, I remember Judge Coleman ruling on something that he relied on 1857 case law. He was completely right. He was completely right. The writ of execution did not have a return date. It had a return date, but it had the wrong year. I'd put the wrong year in it. And I think Charlie Smith was our attorney that handled it for us. But he said, well, it's obviously a typo, but the return date has to be a valid return date, or the writ of execution is void. And he was completely correct. But I thought, really? I put the wrong year.
You got the numbers backwards.
Well, it's interesting you say complicated court. I mean, it sounds like to me there's a lot of steps that go into this job, not just putting on the robes and going up there and ruling. There's a lot that goes into this.
Yeah, if you do it right. I mean, we got a good group of judges now, but I've been in judges' courts that I had one court in Hinds County say, Mr. Graham, this jacket's pretty thick. And I went, well, I've lost. She hadn't even read the pleadings. So I know, and I did lose because she didn't read the pleadings. We had to appeal it. And that's just time consuming for the consumer. It's unnecessary. And when you appeal from justice court, you do it de novo, which is a $10 word for nothing matters that you in that last trial. So
what's the word again?
De novo.
De novo.
Yeah. It basically a brand new trial.
Okay.
And nothing matters. When you appeal from justice court to county court, nothing matters in justice court what happened. They don't remand it back to justice for further review. You have a judge that's an attorney in county court that's going to review it, and then you just have a whole new trial. What is why it's very important. And also, you have to be very careful appealing from justice court to county court, because you're appealing not with appellate jurisdiction. You're appealing with original jurisdiction, Miller versus State. I mean, excuse me, not Miller versus State. It's that
other one.
Yeah, it's the other one. I forgot. It was,
the other one.
There's Court of Appeal case law. It's Miller versus gosh, I can't remember. It escapes me.
That's right. That's
anyway,
why that's why they have Google.
Yeah, the Court of Appeals actually ruled that you're appealing with original jurisdiction. So basically, what can happen is if you're the losing party and you appeal, the plaintiff can amend their complaints, and then you might end up with a $10,000 judgment because of attorney's fees.
So that goes to a whole other court.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So,
there you go.
Okay, so these are things.
It's Miller versus Statham. Miller had a bad day. Yeah, he had a bad day.
Had a bad day. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna have to look up Miller versus Statham, but I'm gonna use that word de novo. De novo. I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say tell my wife, about my clothes being on the floor the day before. That's de novo. That's
de novo. Yeah.
This is a new day.
Yeah.
This is we're on to the next day.
Right.
Well, how's it been on the campaign trail? I know we're kind of in this home stretch right here. What kind of feedback you getting from the folks in District 1?
We're going to win.
There you go.
Winning team, Charles Graham.
Charles Graham.
There you go. Okay. I like it.
We're going to win.
So, all right, everybody else, just pull your ads. And
pull your ads. But,
stay home.
Here's the
don't.
There you go.
Yeah, you just
don't get out in this heat like this.
When you vote, Charles Graham. Yeah, we're on the winning team. Get in there and we're number 2 on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The rest of y'all are just de novo.
Yeah.
Yesterday's
news.
Yesterday's news. I like it.
And if you didn't
as
get
you can tell,
anything,
folks, we like to have fun with our guests. So
yeah.
And if you didn't get anything from us, it's because we're working off the old list, and nothing to do with Donna Jill. Nope, none of that. Don't want to be contempt of clerk.
You're talking about that
contempt of clerk. I like that.
Before the redistricting, of course, there's some new members to District 1, and there's some that probably were in District 1 that are no longer.
Right, and you might not have gotten something from us, and if you didn't, we apologize, but it's not because we didn't try. And contempt of clerk is a real thing.
Really?
Yeah. Why do you think attorneys bring donuts to them?
There you go. He's gonna write that down.
Donuts
to get on Donna Jill's good side.
Jill.
Yeah, you don't want to make her mad.
Bring those donuts Saturday morning if people are voting absentee.
Avoid contempt.
Contempt of clerk. Yeah, it's actually a thing.
Yeah. I'm afraid I've blown through that one there. I think I didn't answer a couple of our emails, so I think
that's on you.
I know. I got to fix that. Donuts. All right. Tell us, Charles Graham, on the serious side, what have you done? I mean, I know you were constable, but you make your living not that way, I'm sure. You make your living how, and then what made you decide to run for this judgeship?
Well, I own a collection company, so we're in court quite a bit. And
you have seen the courtroom that if you're a collection company.
Yeah, we were just in there yesterday regarding a motion for judgment against a garnishee defendant for failure to answer. A global company actually didn't answer the garnishment. We held them responsible for it. So for the actual judgment. So the debtor's off the hook. Well, not off the hook. If we get it from the company that failed to answer, then they're off the hook.
Right.
But yeah, it's we've handled a lot of cases, hundreds of cases in that court, and getting a judgment is fairly easy. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a default. They don't show up. But enforcing it's another thing. Writ of executions, writ of garnishments, that sort of thing. And then you have to, like yesterday, you have to collect from the people that you're supposed to be collecting for you under order. And it gets complicated. It really does. So it's not just a rubber stamp court if it's done right. It's complicated.
So in your business, would you say that you're in court like every weekday or
not every week? It depends how many suits we file.
It wouldn't be every day because you're not in court every day. So
yeah, it's generally Wednesdays at 9:00. It's generally when the judges have their civil their civil court.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a complicated court, and you need somebody with experience in there, and it's we're it. Yeah.
How would that work if you have judgments that pertain to your business, but yet you're the judge? Kind of how?
No, you can't do that. You'd have to recuse yourself. The first thing that I would do upon when I get elected, is issue a order to the clerks to remove all cases that has to do with my company.
Sure.
Out of my court. Sure. Just put them back in the pool, because the clerks have
because there's more than one judge, so then those
and they would just stagger them.
Yeah.
Stagger those cases between the other 3 judges. And that would be the first thing I did.
Right.
I wouldn't want to hear anything that had to do with something that I had been in court over.
Well, that's different than me. I'd want to hear all my cases. I'd like to be the judge on my cases.
Yeah.
No, I understand the propriety and the legality and all for things. So that's cool. So you'd recuse yourself of all cases pertaining to your company.
Yeah.
And so that's just how that's done. Good.
Yeah, and the clerk's tasked for staggering those cases or assigning those cases. So,
Very good.
You just put them back in the pool.
All right. Well, anything that we haven't talked about that you'd like to tell our listeners about yourself or your campaign or your judgeship?
Vote for me. Yeah, Charles
That's it.
Graham, and I appreciate the support that we've already had, and we're the winning team. Let's do this. And like I said, you can visit us at electcharlesgraham.com. I got a video up there that you can listen to or watch. We're working hard to win this election, and if I didn't get a chance to meet anybody, it's not because we didn't try. So.
All right. So we'll finish off the interview in just a moment, but we've got to remind folks that it's kind of hard to get a judgment when somebody breaks your windshield or your glass on your car, because you go to A&A Glass and they work with your insurance company and the insurance pays for it.
That's right. 217 22nd Avenue, a couple of doors down from the Children's Museum. That's A&A Glass. Of course, Adam and Adam have been doing glass repairs right for over 10-plus years now, and you're welcome to stop by, get that free estimate. They can beat any price in the area, and they got a good staff down there in the shop as well. Open right now, actually, until 4 o'clock today. You can go by and see them there at 217 22nd Avenue. Like we said, a couple of doors down from the Children's Museum, or we can say Sela War Parkway. 601-693-GLASS. That's 601-693-4527. The good folks down at A&A Glass.
All right. Mornings in Meridian. We're talking about the race for Justice Court Judge District 1. And, of course, this is something that everybody in District 1 needs to pay attention to. And you should have received a card from, or at least if you haven't received a card from Donna Jill's office, the circuit clerk, call the circuit clerk's office and make sure you know which district you are voting in.
Yes.
So that's important. So if you're in District 1, this man wants your vote.
Yeah, and ignore the Facebook polls.
There you go. There you go.
The Facebook polls.
Well, and two,
the 100% accurate, scientifically proven Facebook polls.
Yeah, let's pretend that's real.
Charles, with the redistricting and whatnot, I mean, like I said, the voter rolls, I mean, some of that's changed or whatnot, but a lot of folks don't know their precinct, but they need to know that information. So that's why they need to get in touch with Donna Jill. So I know that's vitally important, especially in District 1. So.
Yes, they need to know their precincts and go vote. Whether it's for me or not, go vote, please, because, 35% turnout on elections a lot is awful.
That's actually kind of a high one for our area.
Yeah,
but it is bad.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean, go vote. I mean, people have died so that you have that opportunity. Mm-hmm. So go vote, whether it's for me or not. Your vote matters.
Freedom is does cost us to do take our responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's not free.
All right, so it's Charles Graham. He is running for District Court Judge. I kind of keep wanting to say District Court, Justice Court, and of course
Federal Court. Yes,
it's a long time. Yeah, he's like, federal. Let's do that one. Yeah.
Trump appointed me.
Trump appointed you.
So is Hunter Biden really guilty? No, just kidding.
What, of the cocaine?
He said, "Which avenue you want to go down here?"
Did he smoke crack in the White House? I
don't. There's just no evidence there, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
But it is a fair question, though. Since we're mentioning that real quick, the judge yesterday, that whole plea deal thing. I mean, is that usual for that to happen? I mean, how that went down yesterday?
Well, actually, I didn't watch it. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
Basically they had, I guess, an agreement of some sort, and she kind of threw the plea deal out, and I guess they're going back to the negotiating table.
She should have, and I think she did the right thing if she threw that plea deal out, because it was absolutely atrocious. I mean, ask Wesley Snipes if it was a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, he spent 3 years in prison for the same thing,
and that's something.
Yeah.
Now,
and he didn't make his money from Ukraine. Huh?
There we go.
This is because of your experience in the court with your company, and of course you working as constable. Tell our listeners, if they should have to go to justice court, what do they need to do to make sure they do their due diligence before they come to your courtroom?
Well, if they're the defendant or plaintiff?
Well, either one. What do people need to do before showing up at court to make the day go well for them?
Well, again, the clerks are pretty proficient. They'll explain to them what to do if they're filing a suit, and if you're a defendant in the case and it is a lot of money or $3,000 and you can afford to, and it's a complicated contract, get an attorney, because let them read through the contract, at least give you some advice on the contract, because everything is an affirmative defense. So you have to bring it up. The judge can read the contract and go, this is awful. But I think it's unethical for the judge to bring it up because it's an affirmative defense, and it needs to be brought up by the defense.
Now just affirmative defense, what's that mean now?
You're affirming the defense.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking through the contract. Let's say there may be, an arbitration agreement in the contract, and you want to argue the jurisdictional or the standing of the individual. Well, then you're going to need to bring that up, because the judge can't bring it up or shouldn't bring it up.
Okay.
He shouldn't. It's an affirmative defense. You're providing the defense with a legal strategy if you do, and I think that's unethical.
Gotcha.
So if you have a complicated contract or you're being sued for something, then get an attorney to review it for you.
Charles Graham, running for Justice Court Judge, District 1. Thank you for your time here today.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Glad to be here.
He's got to get back out on the campaign trail, so we're going to take a break.
Let's do it.
Let's join Fox News in Progress.
18
Boy, she captured the music world with that song. Mm-hmm. Back in the late 60s, Bobby Gentry's 81 years old today. Happy birthday, Bobby.
Happy birthday.
And every once in a while, you'll probably hear that song on our station, our sister station, 105.7.
The legend.
She is a legend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Mornings in Meridian. Roger B. along with Rob. Lots to talk about. Rob getting some information on that car that was those Marines were in that died of the asphyxiation. Or
we mentioned that with the caller at the top of the hour. Yeah,
deputies from. I got this report. This was sent to me by text. Actually, my bride's listening, and she sent this to me. Deputies from the Pender County Sheriff's Office found the three men Sunday morning in privately owned Lexus sedan parked outside a Speedway gas station in the coastal community of Hempstead.
Okay.
So autopsies performed Wednesday by the North Carolina Medical Examiner Office determined that all three deaths were the result of carbon monoxide poisoning, according to the Sheriff's Office. So, not to say that those cars are dangerous, but something happened in that particular instance that just was not good.
Sure.
So that's an answer to a caller who called in and said, I'd like to know what that car was.
What they doing?
What they doing? Anyway, folks, we're having a good morning here, and I don't know if the candidates had a good morning at Neshoba County Fair yesterday. We got a caller on the line, so shall we take the call and then talk about Neshoba?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Joe!
I'm so glad we took a call from Joe from Chunky.
I just love the way y'all respond to me. That just makes my day.
I tell you what. Joe!
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a rerun. Woohoo!
All right, Joe, tell me what you're mad about today.
Am I always mad when I call?
Well, I'm sorry. I just remembered you're a woman. Sorry.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have made that assumption.
Well, you know what happens to people that assume, right?
Okay, yeah, don't go into that.
So we already know which one you are.
I love you.
I love you too, Joe. Love having fun with you.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So what's going on? Hurry before you have to go pick up more men.
Hey, wait a minute now. That did not come out right.
Well, that's what you do.
Well, but you got to explain it's my job. I mean, you make it sound like I'm on a street corner somewhere waiting for somebody.
Well, you usually are waiting for somebody.
Hey, wait a minute now. This is getting worse before it gets better.
Well, just to let everybody know that our friend Jo, she works for the railroad, and she positions staff along the railroad for the operating of the trains that are on the railroad.
That's correct.
Okay, what's up?
Nothing. I'm just trying to find out from y'all how's everybody doing with the election, and just to let you all know that it's a very good idea that you all should develop a personal relationship with people.
It's a good idea to develop a personal relationship with people.
Yes, because you see, I have had questions, and I met a gentleman by the name of Ben Shirley.
Yeah.
And he and I have been talking. He gave me his phone number. I met him and his wife.
Yeah, he's been on.
We've already had lunch and sat down and hashed out a bunch of stuff.
Wait a minute, you had lunch with the candidate?
What's the problem?
Well, no, that's impressive. I don't even know if I can say that. I can't say that.
Why can't you see, I don't understand that. Why can't you do that?
Well, we are a media outlet, and we want to make sure that we.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us.
That has nothing to do with it. I went to an event. The gentleman happened to be there with his wife.
Okay.
We sat down, I introduced myself. He introduced himself. I spoke to him about a few things.
Yeah.
Him and his wife.
Yeah.
And I spoke to his wife.
Yeah.
We clicked. We had a very good time.
Yeah.
He told me he was running for office. He gave me his telephone number. And he said, if I can do anything, let me know. And guess what? I did need him to do something, explain things to me.
Yeah.
And we sat down, him and his wife and I, and we had a very nice conversation.
Okay.
So
very good.
My question is, why can't anybody else do that?
Well, people can. They could do like you do. Go to these events and sit down and have conversations with the candidates if they're there. That's they can. Other people can do that. Yes.
That's exactly correct, and that's why you need to do that, because when you have somebody's telephone number that's either running for a candidate or does eventually get the office, if anything happens, you know they're going to answer your phone call.
Yeah. Yep.
Am I correct?
That's correct.
And that way you can get things done. You can ask questions. You can find out why are these people doing this and let them explain it to you. Just like Michael Guest, which I really don't like, came out and told y'all the reason why he only voted president. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
At that last meeting.
Yeah.
I personally thought it was a cop-out, but, maybe I didn't understand completely.
Yeah, well, he explained it, and, of course, the explanation made sense, didn't it?
Well, I don't know. I didn't understand the explanation anyway.
Well.
You see that's what I'm trying to explain. If you get to meet these people and you sit down and talk to them and they tell you something, say, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense to me. You see, I'm a child of the 60s, okay?
Well, it made sense. It made sense to me, of course, going back to that explanation. We won't rehash all that, but I'm just saying, to make your point.
Yes.
To make your point, I did have Michael Guest's cell phone number, and when there was a question about his vote, I texted him and said, some of our listeners have questions, and to which he said, I'm in a meeting, but I'll call you afterwards, in which he did call the station and explained why that vote went the way it did, and it made perfect sense to me and to Rob and to many of our listeners.
Well, that's exactly my point. That is why that's the only way that we're going to hold some of these people accountable with stuff that's going on. That was my point.
Well,
you see, everybody's so confused right now and saying, well, how do you expect to hold them accountable? You have their phone number. Even if you want to call Washington, you can call the main number in Washington and you tell them, this is my senator, this is my congressman, whatever. I need to speak to them. I need to leave a message. Can you tell them this? Can you tell them? Whether they answer you or not, you at that point at least have made the effort. So that makes you involved in what's going on in your government. I don't like this pansy excuse that, well, they're not going to talk to me. Who cares whether they talk to you or not? You have to make the initial effort and let them know that this stuff really bugs you.
There you go. Contact your congressman. That's what they do. Publish their phone numbers. Maybe not all the time their cell numbers, but they do publish numbers that you can reach their offices anyway.
Oh, well, you can always get that from D.C. You can always call Jackson, and you can get their numbers from Jackson too.
And the good thing about Mr. Guest is he now has an office in Meridian, and Charlie Ballou actually runs that office, and Charlie does a great job. I had a little issue that came up here recently, and talked to Charlie down there at his office, and he called Michael right away, and we got it squared away. So, but the office is right there on 20. It's right there on 22nd, right by Weidman's. So.
And I'd like to give a shout out to two more people. When we had an incident here, I called Billy Adam Calvert, and he also helped me out and explained things to me. I also called Jeff Tate. He also gave me some things to do. And like I said, if we are not able to pursue a relationship with people, then we're keeping ourselves cynical and disgusted about what's going on, thinking, oh, we can't do anything, when there really is something we can do.
Well, I've got to tell you before I let you go with my favorite new joke. My new favorite joke, and it involves Cajuns. I know you're from southern Louisiana. You're not Cajun, but you're from that area.
Lord have mercy. Help me, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, too bad Adam and Eve weren't Cajun, because they would have eaten the snake instead of the apple, and we wouldn't have been in this mess.
That's exactly correct.
There we go. Okay. Anyway, that's my new favorite little joke here.
Only because, Cajuns, they eat everything.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And, they have a real disgusting critter down there called, in Louisiana, it's called a Nutra rat.
Yeah, Nutra. Yeah, I've seen those.
You've heard of those, right?
Yeah.
They came out a few years way back. They gave everybody money if they wanted to shoot the Nutra rats, and they would pay them so much money for the rats themselves. But they have people that hunt those on a regular basis, not only for the furs, but also for the meat.
Hey, Grandpa, what's for supper? Nutra stew. All right.
Yuck. Double yuck.
I hear you. Well, listen, good to hear from you, Joe. I'm so glad you're out there. This is great.
I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you. She'll talk to us later. I love it. Mornings in Meridian. Don't wait till later. They're open now. Call Purvis Business Machines.
That's right. 601-693-COPY. Of course, that beautiful showroom is located at 4505 Highway 39 North in Meridian. Or you can shop online. GoPurvis.com. They got lease return color copiers, folks. Save up to 85%. Man, that is great savings down at Purvis. And, of course, they've got those name brands that we all know and love. Toshiba, CopyStar, Kyocera, Hewlett-Packard, good quality name brands there. And they got the office equipment that does everything. I mean, these all-in-one devices, copiers, printers, you name it. Something for your home office, your business, or maybe even your church as well, church office. So they can help you out with that. But stop by their showroom and talk to Don Lucas and the staff there, 4505 Highway 39 North, or online at gopurvis.com. 601-693-COPY is the number. 601-693-2679. That is Purvis Business Machines. And what do they say? Service, not excuses, since 1979.
Hey, Uncle Rob.
Yes, sir?
Tell us about the Neshoba County Fair yesterday.
Man, what do you want to know? Everything, right?
Well, you mentioned that the lieutenant governor race is a little heated on the Republican side with Delbert Hosemann and Chris McDaniel.
Yeah, I got to the fair yesterday. I left straight from here and went right to the fair. And I got there right before Chris McDaniel got up on stage. And I'll just say this. Both very good speeches, I thought, from Chris McDaniel and Delbert Hosemann. The supporters were very enthusiastic. Probably, I would say, one of the biggest crowds I've seen for two political speeches in a while.
Fantastic.
At the fair. I mean, there was nowhere to sit underneath the pavilion there at Founders Square. Chris went first, obviously, and then Delbert went second because obviously he's the incumbent. But Chris took questions and did Q&A with the press behind the pavilion right there. And, of course, Hosemann went up and was speaking. And I was backstage there because Meridian Day, the program was right after Mr. Hosemann finished his speech. And as Delbert got done with his speech, Chris was still under the awning there taking questions from the press, and he just briefly asked Mr. Hosemann, hey, when are we going to have a debate? When are we going to have a debate? And Mr. Hosemann never responded to McDaniel, just kind of walked away, and there was a cabin over there on Founders Square that he was holding his own little press deal with newspapers, TV, and whatnot there yesterday. But, of course, it got pretty nasty between supporters at one point.
Between supporters?
Between supporters. There was a little bit of a pushing match one point, but it didn't escalate into anything.
What was that all about?
Trying to jockey for position behind Chris as he was doing interviews, trying to put signs behind him that said stuff about Hosemann and vice versa. So it got a little.
Get that sign out of here.
Of course, there was a Delbert the Democrat sign there, and someone kind of pushed that person out of the way, and it didn't escalate into anything else. But of course, Hosemann didn't say the words pathological liar when he talked about Chris McDaniel, but he said pathological and then kind of changed up his words a little bit. And, of course, Chris McDaniel, really, Delbert the Democrat, that was thrown out a lot yesterday, too. So it got pretty nasty, pretty heated yesterday, but it's a race that is got a lot of eyeballs on it right now. I mean, the ads are intense.
Oh, yes, they
are. Your mailbox is full of that stuff, and it is getting very, very testy, and it was a very testy environment there yesterday. So
now, but today, I wonder how it'll go with the gubernatorial candidates. I like saying that, gubernatorial candidates.
Brandon Presley and Tate Reeves will be there today, and that race, not to that heated point yet, but when we get past these primaries, the race is on for that one. After August 8th, I mean, we've got, 3 months until the generals, and that's going to be the next big statewide one that could get pretty nasty in a hurry. But the Neshoba County Fair, enthusiastic is an easy word, nasty is another easy word, but pick whatever adjective you want to. It was a very, very historic day yesterday. So,
and that's the way politics goes, folks.
Yeah.
It's a system we don't want to do without.
Yep.
So I admire all who get out there and roll up their sleeves and campaign. So
yes, sir.
It's just fun to watch it all go down.
And we'll have them both on the show August the 3rd, by the way.
Okay.
Both those lieutenant governor candidates will have their last plea to you here in Lauderdale County.
There you have it. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. It's Mornings in Meridian. Stay tuned.
News this morning from Choctaw.
She's got the look. Too bad she's a robot.
Ugh.
Or too bad she's artificial intelligence.
AI.
You seen that model that's being posted all around the country, and like the perfect blonde model, and well, she ain't real. Mornings in Meridian, we're glad you're out there. I'll tell you who's real. You go down to Trucker Supply, you're going to talk about some real people down there. They'll help you with some real problems. They'll help you get some real good stuff down there at Trucker Supply. And I want you to know that I've got to go down there today. Got to get something. It's a good place to go for shopping for birthdays.
Absolutely.
So I won't say what it is because it's going to be a birthday present. But I just want to say that you can go to Trucker Supply. They have a great selection of Yeti coolers, mugs, and dishes. They have all kinds of coolers. If you go down there at Trucker Supply, high-pressure hoses, folks. You know, it's like that your truck has a hydraulic line, something busts, the end leaks, whatever. You can take the measurement down there. They'll make you the high-pressure hose for that application. Put the ends on it, boom, you're out the door. Way to go, folks, down there at Trucker Supply. Trailer hitches, trailer accessories, lights, flashlights, jacks, big 3-ton jacks to jack up those big trucks, pressure washers. They've got hot seat pressure washers. And let me tell you, they've got tools galore. Milwaukee. They are Milwaukee Central when it comes to tools. Go by and see all the good folks at Trucker Supply. See what deals they have for the month of July, because July is going fast. But they'll have another list of specials for August as well. That's Trucker Supply right there on Highway 19 next to McDonald's. Truckers Supply.
There you go. And, of course, we also want to thank our friend Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm Insurance Agent here in Meridian. Of course, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there for you. And Jeffrey, of course, is located at 2401 Highway 39 North in Meridian, 601-483-8253. You know, back to school is approaching very, very quickly, and State Farm has a lot of ways to save money on your insurance and even pick up a little accident coverage for your little ones, because, you know, Roger, they're going to be in the vehicle real soon, going to school with mom and dad, whatever it might be. Call Jeffrey for some good estimates today. He can combine your home and auto insurance as well, motorcycle insurance, a lot of different options there as well. And he is online at jeffreywilsonagency.com, and very easy to find it there on Highway 39 North. And Jeffrey is so involved in the community here in East Mississippi, involved in a lot of good civic organizations. He loves Meridian, loves Lauderdale County. 601-483-8253. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm Agency.
That's right. Let's take a phone call. Good morning, caller. We've got about a minute. Come on.
Well, real quickly, let me make one thing perfectly clear.
Come on in here.
Okay, Richard Nixon.
Delbert Hoseman is a Wait, let me try it again. Delbert Hoseman is
Oh, no.
Let me try it this way. Delbert Hoseman, Mitt Romney, and Lisa Murkowski are all Republicans, okay? So just know what we're talking about here. And anyway, don't be a rhino. Don't be a rhino. And I know that only if anybody keeps up with politics, don't think that Delbert Hoseman is anywhere near as conservative as Chris McDaniels. And wouldn't it be nice to have a lieutenant governor from East Central Mississippi, from Laurel, instead of everybody coming from Rankin and Hines and all that? So anyway, don't be a rhino voter.
All right. There it is. Thank you for checking in with us. We got that minute in. Wow. Let's see. I'm off to a change of command up at Naval Air Station Meridian. Captain Brent Moore giving the keys over to Captain Luke Davis.
There you go.
Where are you going?
I'm going up North Mississippi right now. I got a sportscasters convention.
Bye, everybody.
Run out, girl, someday.